The sound of blow dryers and soft Afrobeats filled Kemi Hart's small studio in Lekki Phase 1. The space was neat but modest, painted cream with a large mirror against the wall, a ring light standing proudly in the corner, and a small neon sign that read Kemi's Touch. On the outside, the studio looked modern, with its glass doors and the busy streets of Lagos flashing past. But inside, the truth was harder. Business was slow. Kemi scrolled her phone between clients, staring at Instagram feeds that felt like another world. Her friends Sophie, Bella, and Tiffany were living the life she always dreamed of. Their posts glowed with vacation shots in Dubai, cocktails on yachts, expensive shopping bags, and photos where their bodies looked like perfection. Each time Kemi refreshed, their likes grew into thousands. Her own posts, filled with videos of hair tutorials and before and after transformations, barely reached 100 likes. She felt invisible. Sometimes she would take a photo of herself in her simple outfits, carefully adjusting the angle to make her figure look curvy. But no matter how she posed, she hated the results. Flat, she whispered to her reflection. The word clung to her like a curse. In her heart, she believed her body was the reason she was overlooked by brands, men, and the world. At a cafe in Victoria Island one evening, she met her friends. The place was crowded with influencers, their phones resting on ring light stands, waiters serving overpriced cocktails that looked more like art than drinks. Sophie leaned in, her voice dropping to a whisper. "Girls, listen. I'm saving for Turkey. BBL. One trip and my life will change forever." Bella clapped her hands, grinning. "It's the new level. Once you have the shape, brands won't stop calling." Tiffany slid her phone across the table, showing before and after photos of women who looked like celebrities overnight. Kemi smiled tightly, pretending she was excited. But deep down, she knew she couldn't afford Turkey. Rent, bills, and the slow bookings from her studio ate every naira she made. That night, she lay awake in her small apartment, scrolling again, this time not through her friends' feeds but through ads promising instant transformation. Then a message popped up, a contact from a girl she barely knew. Dr. Raymond Cole. Lagos. Half the price. Quick results. The profile showed glossy clinic photos, women with new curves smiling confidently, captions like "New life starts here." Her chest tightened. Half the price. No passport. No flight ticket. No waiting list. For hours she stared at her bank app, doing the math again and again. The numbers scared her, but the thought of staying invisible scared her more. She whispered into the empty room. One big risk. One big chance. By morning her decision was made. She sent the message. The receptionist replied quickly, with warm emojis and promises of discounts if she paid fast. Kemi looked at her mirror, then at her phone screen filled with her friends' perfect lives. She didn't know it yet, but this was the choice that would change everything. The clinic in Victoria Island gleamed white, sterile, and expensive. White walls, white orchids in glass vases, nurses in neat scrubs, the smell of lemon-scented sanitizer floating in the air. Dr. Raymond Cole walked in with a confident smile. Tall, neatly groomed. His trimmed beard gave him the air of someone in control. He spoke with charm, moving his hands like a salesman who never lost. "This," he said, showing diagrams on his tablet, "will change your life. Minimal risk. Full recovery. A Lagos price for Lagos beauty." Kemi nodded quickly. She could hardly hear the rest. All she saw was the new body on the screen, a figure that looked like Sophie, Bella, and Tiffany. She wanted to believe him, and she did. The payment was heavy, 3 swipes and a bank transfer that drained her account, but the promise was heavier. She signed the form. Linda, the nurse, gave her a gentle smile and led her into the operating room. The lights were blinding, the bed narrow, and the mask cold against her face. As the anesthetic filled her lungs, she thought of likes, contracts, and the man who might finally notice her. Then the world went black. Recovery was rough, but the results came fast. The swelling faded, and for the first time in her life, her curves filled dresses the way she always dreamed. She took a single selfie in her apartment mirror, her waist snatched, her hips round. When she posted it, Instagram exploded. Her followers tripled in days. Comments poured in. Body goals. Queen of Lagos. Magic. Brands reached out. A swimwear company offered a contract. A popular lounge in Ikoyi asked her to host their opening night. Men sent flowers, cash transfers, and new iPhones. Her friends pulled her into group photos, tagged her, and called her main character. Even her studio felt different. Clients booked her because they had seen her online. "You're glowing, sis," they said, eyes lingering on her figure. Kemi bought a bigger ring light, upgraded her phone, and installed a brighter neon sign. Kemi's touch looked like it was finally touching something real. For the first time, she wasn't invisible. She was seen, celebrated, adored. She believed every promise Dr. Raymond had made. But Lagos has a way of showing you that every light casts a shadow. The pain started as a whisper, small stabs in her side. Kemi ignored it. Pain was the price of beauty, she told herself. But the whispers turned into shouts. Swelling came with heat. Sharp aches kept her awake at night, and red patches spread across her skin. She hid it at first. She posted old pictures, edited selfies, and recycled videos. Nobody noticed. But Lagos is small, and whispers always find ears. At a party in Banana Island, a girl pointed and whispered, "That's her." She didn't even do it abroad. Local BBL. Cheap job. Laughter followed like fire. The gossip spread. Screenshots of her old body surfaced. People compared her before and after, mocking her. Fake. Desperate. She risked her life for likes. The brands withdrew. The swimwear contract was cancelled. The lounge manager stopped replying. A drinks company that had offered her an endorsement sent a short email. "We are pausing our collaboration." Her friends distanced themselves too. Sophie, Bella, and Tiffany, the same girls who cheered her on, deleted her from their group chat. They unfollowed her on Instagram. At events, they acted like strangers. Even clients began canceling. Some said quietly, "I don't want her touching my hair." The gossip had poisoned her business too. One night, Kemi sat on the studio floor, the neon sign flickering above her. Invoices piled high. Her body throbbed with pain, her phone silent. She opened Instagram. Comments tore into her. "Your life is finished. Clout chaser. From queen to clown." Tears streamed down her face. She clutched her stomach and whispered into the darkness, "What have I done to myself?" Her dream was gone. All that remained was pain, scars, and silence. Weeks turned into months. Hospital visits became routine. Infections came and went, but the scars stayed. Raised lines cut across her skin, reminders of every choice. The brands never called back. The contracts were gone. Her friends moved on, flaunting new trips, new clothes, new men. Sophie posted from Paris. Bella from Dubai. Tiffany with a new car. None of them looked back. Kemi tried reaching out. Calls went unanswered. Messages left unread. She was erased from the very circle she had once begged to enter. At her studio, half the bulbs in her neon sign burned out. Her assistant left. Bookings dried up. Alone in the silence, Kemi recorded one final video. No filter. No makeup. Just her tired face. "I wanted to be seen," she said softly. "I thought if I changed my body, I would change my life." For a while it worked. But the pain, the scars, they don't leave. The brands left. My friends left. All I have now is this truth. Instagram fame is not worth your life. She posted it and turned off her phone. The video didn't go viral. But a few comments came in. "Thank you for being real. You just saved me from making the same mistake." For the first time she felt something new, peace. The fame she chased had lasted a season. The scars, both physical and emotional, stayed forever. But as she stood in front of her cracked mirror, she whispered to her reflection, "Never again." And for the first time in years, she believed her own words. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more amazing stories.